It is now in order to consider Amendment Number 68, printed in Part F of House Report 118-216. For what purpose does the gentleman from Georgia seek recognition?
I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment number 68, printed in Part F of House Report number 118-216, offered by Mr. McCormick of Georgia.
Pursuant to House Resolution 723, the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. McCormick, and a member opposed each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise to offer my amendment number 68 to H.R. 4368 to the Agricultural, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administration Appropriations Bill. Amendment number 68 prohibits funding for the implementation of the Unapproved Drug Initiative. This initiative causes generic drugs that have historically low prices to have their prices skyrocket, which ultimately hurts families across the nation. Because the Unapproved Drugs Initiative, many generic drugs have been used for centuries, were removed from the market and awarded to large pharmaceutical companies to seek new drug applications, which has led to monopolistic practices. On top of this, the new drug manufacturer was granted a period of market exclusivity and aggressively used the courts to block other drug companies from marketing cheaper, generic alternatives for years. The best example of this is in the pricing and therapeutic of gout drug colchicine. In fact, when I was a resident at Grady Hospital through the Emory ER residency program, I treated patients with colchicine for gout. The drug had been around for centuries. It was a cheap drug. The average American afforded it. It cost about $11. After this initiative, colchicine increased nearly 16-fold from about $11 in 2009 to $190 in 2011. The average family cannot afford that. As of 2020, price increases of drugs approved through the Unapproved Drug Initiative have increased U.S. health spending by $3.2 billion. High drug costs do not only interfere with appropriate use of medications, but they force families to make impossible choices between their health care and other basic needs. If reinstated, the Unapproved Drug Initiative would target an estimated 1,500 drugs. Even one increase would punish all of us. Whether destitute or well-insured, the only one who win are Big Pharma. We all lose. That's why I urge my colleagues to support Amendment number 68, which serves as a safeguard to ensure that the FDA does not continue to implement the Unapproved Drug Initiative, which is hurting Americans and placing an undue burden on the healthcare system. To be clear, there will never be a good use for this. It can only be used to profit and cannot benefit people we serve, especially the most vulnerable. I appeal to my fellow Georgian, my fellow servant, my fellow Christian. Join me in a nonpartisan effort to protect the American people. And with that, I reserve.
Gentleman reserves. Does any member claim time in opposition? Seeing none, the gentleman from Georgia is recognized.
Thank you. I think that with that, I'll go ahead and close. I yield back.
Questions on the amendment offered by the gentleman from Georgia. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to.